Hey folks, Mobile Geezer here with my review of the ZTE Blade V8 Pro. I know this phone's a few months old, but if you're looking for a budget phone, don't pass on this one. Now this phone was released back in late January, early February, but I never got around to doing a review on it. So I thought, if you want a budget phone, this is one of the real good ones. It was basically meant to go head to head against the Moto G5 Plus, and I think it does that very well. So let's get into it. Two things this has over the G5 Plus, and if you see my recent review, you know how highly I think of that phone. But the Blade V8 Pro has NFC and USB Type-C, two things which the Moto G5 Plus did not have. So first I'll take you around the phone. On the right side, we've got power button, volume up and down buttons. Up top are earphone jack and microphone. On the left side are dual SIM card slot. I'll tell you about that in a minute. On the bottom are USB Type-C and our one bottom firing speaker, even though there's two speaker grills. On the back we have our dual 13 megapixel cameras and a dual flash with a little ZTE branding. And on front we have our 8 megapixel camera, our earphone, and our home buttons / fingerprint sensor. So this device has the Qualcomm 625 processor, and you know all of us techies think very, very highly. And the Moto G5 Plus has the same processor, so you know it's going to be efficient. It's got 32 gig on board with 3 gigabytes of RAM, and I found that to be quite sufficient. It's got a dual SIM card, so you can either have two SIMs or you can have a SIM with an SD card up to 128 gig. It's got a 3140 milliamp non-removable battery, and I find that works for me all day just fine. Gives me about 5 hours of screen on time, and it comes with quick charge 2.0, not 3.0. Now the one thing it does have that's holding it back probably is it comes with 6.0.1 marshmallow, not nougat. And you can see right there, it's just marshmallow. I check for updates all the time. No update has been forthcoming to bring it to nougat, and I wouldn't hold my breath waiting for it. But still, I still think this is a great phone for the price. Now this is the Mi Pop launcher, and you can see it's very, very close to stock. Looks most of all like stock Android. But that's what the Mi Pop launcher looks like, and of course there's no SIM tray. So I prefer to switch launchers. So we'll go in here, go to default apps, check our launchers. There's a stock Android launcher that it also comes with. Now there you get your app tray, and as you can see, it's very quick, very, very smooth. But in my case, I always prefer the Google Now launcher. That's my setup. I'll give you a size comparison with some other phones. Here it is next to the Moto G5 Plus, next to the HTC U11. Here it is against its older brother, the Axon 7, and here it is next to the LG G6. Now this phone feels very, very good in the hand. It's got Gorilla Glass 3 up front, kind of a rubberized, grippy texture in back. Got curves right here, a little bit on the sides, and in front, a little curves, and it feels really good in the hand. It's got a 5.5-inch display. It's really, really a beautiful display. Show you what I'm talking about. It's got a 5.5-inch LCD display. That's a really nice display to look at, even though I generally prefer AMOLED. This display is nice, has good viewing angles, and works well out in sunlight. It's close to stock Android. As you can see, it looks very, very close to stock Android. And of course, you've got capacitive buttons on either side of the home button. One for your recent apps, one for your back button. And of course, all we have is that bottom firing speaker. So I'll let you see what that sounds like. So it doesn't sound great, but it's okay. And this phone does have Dolby Audio built in. So if I turn it off, you can see the sound gets much worse. So I leave the Dolby on all the time. So let's get to the camera. Another thing that this has over the Moto G5 Plus is how quickly you can take a snap. That's pretty quick, much faster than a Moto G5 Plus. Now it's got dual 13 megapixel cameras, looking for that great bokeh, and it does pretty good. Low light, well, not so great. I'll be showing you samples. But of course, it's the same with most budget phones. So let me show you some of the settings. You can choose between 13 megapixel, 10 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 6 megapixel, 5 megapixel, and 2 megapixel. Don't know why you'd want to go all the way down there, but I leave it at 13. For video, we've got 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p 30 frames per second, 720p of course, and then you've got MMS video for short videos. So back to photo, there's a dual camera mode that allows you to take bokeh, monocolor, or monochrome. I'll show you some examples of that. That's pretty cool. Also, you can do manual controls, panorama, multi-exposure, time-lapse, slow motion, and sports. So all in all, a pretty good package. So now I'll show you some still pictures and some video samples. So all in all, folks, I think the ZTE Blade V8 Pro is a pretty awesome device for what you're paying. The normal price at ZTE's website is $229.98, but right now you can get it on Amazon for $11 less, and I'll leave a link in the description. But I'd say if you're looking for a budget phone for yourself, for a teenager, somebody else in your family, don't pass on this one. This is a pretty terrific phone for the price. As always, comments are welcome.